All right, so here's what's up. I will moderate this. First of all, I would like each of you to introduce yourselves and say your name and what you contributed to the movie. We'll start with you, Brooke.
Awesome. I'm Brooke.
What's the name of your character in the movie?
Amanda. Most of the time, I think. I basically got saved by Sean a couple times, and at the same time I was like, oh, have fun, I'm running. So this is really the best character. But I did care about the fact that we did kill people. So maybe that's why I made it sort of. Did we make it, Tom? Or is that for the sequel?
I still want to do an alternate ending where you don't make it. I'm John. I played John. Little stoner, I guess you could say, in the head with the hammer. And that's what you get. Originally, I was supposed to survive it. The movie went through a lot of changes. So.
Got Tom, man.
Whatever.
Oh, I'm Darren. I played Darren, and I was kind of a dick in the movie. A lot of it was pretty much impromptu speaking, because Tom was like, all right, we don't really have a script, but we do, so kind of play off of it, so that's what I'm doing. Yeah. And when me and Sean got together, we kind of just took it from there. There's a lot of beer involved, so it goes like this when there's beer.
I didn't get any of that beer.
Yeah, you did.
You have to drive.
Yes, I'll
Yeah, that's right. Save it for next time. But yeah, I got dead because there was a hand going like this. It was a lady, and since I like them, I went for it. I'm like, this is easy. And it was my downfall.
It's gold rule of horror films. If you want
It's all about
sex, you gotta pay
downfalls.
for your life.
That's right.
Same with today, these days with AIDS and everything.
That's right.
Hi, I'm Colleen. My part got improv due to my schedule and my life, so I became the hangover girl. The schedule got changed or the script 3 times to the point where we were all just kind of like, okay, Tom, tell us what to do. Yeah, so I was out of the loop, and then I woke up and got killed.
She was originally the lead.
Yeah, we kind of had to be changed around a little bit. Yeah, so that was fun. Awesome party.
I'm Julie. I played Julie. Somehow, I don't remember how, but Tom found out I was scared of puppets. And he went out to some antique store and spent like $50 on that piece of crap and decided to scare me with it. Because originally I was supposed to live in the end too. I was going to fall off a cliff and live. I did. But anyway, so yeah, my role changed like 3 or 4 times too. But it's been fun.
I guess I should go last. I'm going to go to Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I play Jeremy in the film. I'm the producer too. But yeah, most of all the shots were shot actually at my house, so I graciously offered my house so that we could film this whole thing that we call Deadwoods, and we've had a really good time over the past 6 months, just all of us getting together on weekends and on Sundays. So I've been doing my best to help support Tom and make sure that he has what he needs to come to.
Hence producer title.
And you had the crew cooler full of beer.
Yeah, I usually had to make sure that there's some beer there. So.
A lot of beer. When you're sitting around for like 4 hours,
It's like a magic
it
ring.
was always high laughter.
Yep.
Keep us company.
Between Jeremy and I, we've actually, between the cast and what Jeremy and I bought, we put our receipts together. We ended up buying over 1,500 cans of High Life beer for this movie.
Nobody was compensated anything beer, so I thought the film was a commercial for Miller High Life.
It became one, yeah. It's a big commercial for the band Hell Rides North and Miller High Life. If you didn't realize, Hell Rides North is actually a local band, and the killer in the movie, Ryan, and the guitarist at the bonfire, Vince, are actually the lead singer and the guitarist and writers of that band. So that's why they're always wearing Hell Rides North shirts, and the bumper stickers Hell Rides North. They get a chance to make fun of their own band by not knowing who the band is, and only like a shitty bumper sticker in the back that led them to the realization who these kids were. That's Pam and Doug.
And I'm Doug Cartwright, and I'm actually known as Panama Doug. I'm a local musician. I play under the name Panama Doug. And I got suckered into doing this because I thought I was going to get to drive my car over somebody, and I didn't. You know? Oh well, changes in the script.
Shit changes.
It worked out though.
Yeah, you tricked us all.
That's, I won't lie, if you ever want to make a movie, make sure you can afford beer and be ready to trick all your best friends. And be prepared to lose them if you like, because I had to really, these poor kids. And it was supposed to be 2 weeks. I'm like, no, just 2 weekends, that's it. Maybe 60 hours of your time, that's it, we'll be done. Well, we did that, and then I realized when we had the house, we had a whole different movie, and I wrote the entire script over while we were filming it. And just pretty much every month was like, okay, this is our final shot. I need everyone this Sunday to finish the film. Oh, we didn't finish it. Can you guys come back next week? That went on for 6 months, and thank God we all had a good time together because every time I convinced them to come back was at the bar about 2 hours into it. They're like, all right, I'll come back and film for you, Tom.
The Facebook advice was the last,
Facebook kept us together big time.
Yeah. All right, so one of our killers is here.
Hello, my name's Mandy. I'm like Emily in the film. I am the killer / killer's wife.
What side are you? What's your side?
My side.
Yeah.
You're Pisces?
I'm a Leo.
She's a
Come on.
Those videos, man.
No right trick.
Well, real quick before I open it up for questions, there's two things that I want to know. First of all, Tom, can you kind of give us a history from the moment you had the idea up through today sitting here? Can you give us kind of a recap of how you put this all together? And then I have another question I want to ask before I want to open it up.
Well, first, we'll come back to me for final here. My name's Tom Savage, and this was kind of a dream of mine. It started a long time ago, and I originally had no intention of putting myself in the film, and I came into a situation where I had no one to cast as the drug dealer, and I'm completely, horribly convincing as a drug dealer. All I did was swear. I cut the living crud out of that scene like nothing else. It was almost horribly embarrassing for a while. I would still love to reshoot it in a different light completely. But the movie actually started when I watched Matt's film, Conjure. And he showed it here in this very room, actually, before he assigned us our final project to make a visual project for our final exam. And I remember him and I actually talked about a year prior to that about how he had made a film and how I thought that'd be so cool to make like an old 50s style, really generic monster movie of like, you know, carpet monsters and stuff, and most lame music ever, and just overacting and every kind of ridiculous shot I can think of that's just been overdone, overplayed. But just for the fun of it, make a mockery out of it almost at the same time, but have fun with it. And he looked at me and said, you should just do it. And I was like, I've never taken a film class in my entire life. I've never edited even so much as any kind of video ever before this. And so when we were watching his movie in this classroom, I was really impressed because I knew he had to do the whole thing with just him and his current love interest at the time. And he had told us how he didn't have a lot of help from people. A lot of people didn't take him seriously. No one really wanted to, give him a hand, so to speak. So he had to do the whole thing by himself, like setting up on a tripod and walking in front of it. And when I saw the film, I was really impressed by that, how well he did with so little. And then felt guilty at certain times when it got really kind of cheesy. And I ended up laughing in the classroom and covering my own mouth, like I'm not just laughing at his movie, but then you have to think about it. Like, I could never have done better with such little help at the same time. And I started thinking about, like, what if I got the right people involved, the right friends, and as long as we had a fun time doing it, we could do something pretty cool. With technology today, everything's different. I'm sure 10 years ago, without the programs we have in our computers and the easy transfer of film digitally onto a computer versus like the old days, you had to expose it and hope you got it right, cut it in the old laboratory style. I mean, that just without money these days you can't do it. I mean, our budget was probably $85, subtracting all the beer. That was probably $3. We don't count our caterers, I'll call them. Two here on my sides. But and what was your other question, Ed? Did I answer that question?
Yeah, well, I guess, and then I guess I want to know a little bit more, like, that was obviously how it got started, but then what did you do like in class for the project, and how did you put together, why did things change, and up through completing it today, what was the process from the initial concept, the initial idea, to what we just watched?
The initial concept, I can't lie, I wrote the original script in probably 2 days. You know, a script I thought, I had experience from his class, the storyboarding class, we had to write scripts. That's when I first even learned how to write one, and I realized, well, it's actually a lot easier than you think. You just gotta go with an idea and just keep going, you know? It starts building itself. So I wrote a pretty generic script, something you've all seen before, a typical kids go camping kind of a deal, and there's a backstory, one want to get wiped out. And initially they were supposed to be out camping out in the rugged woods. It was supposed to be very woodland, no resources around them at all. And when I went to Jeremy's house to scope out the woods in the back of his property, I realized all the complications I was going to run into as far as getting equipment, power, lighting, out in the middle of the woods, plus like the woods are constantly growing all summer and all season, things are changing constantly. And then when I actually saw his house for the first time, I realized he had a perfect house for like this summer home, kind of out, maybe up north kind of look, you know, looked isolated enough. And I ended up almost on the spot writing the whole script over again. The first couple days we filmed there, we tried filming the original script, but I had so much inexperience that after that 2-day weekend where we spent from like, you know, 10 in the morning to 10 at night filming, I realized when I got home and started going through the shots, I realized how much I had to learn. Things about like the shaking cameras and bad angles and awkward cuts and all the rules I was breaking. And I would bring it here to class, and Matt would give me a couple tips here and there. And really, as I went, for as much as we filmed, it's amazing how much even the first month never made it to screen. We would just change the script and alter things, and a lot of times a lot of the cast would be confused because like I was handing them parts of scripts every week, you know, saying this is what we're filming, and they really had no idea what it was about. They just read and go, what's this person doing? They had no clue. And it's kind of fun for them now because they finally see why it was all the way it had to be. Hopefully, it made sense. I don't know. But yeah, the whole movie just changed in the first month as we were filming, really. So it caused a lot of stress on me to have to sit down and look at what I had, what I can use, and then build the rest of the movie around that, and then try and keep it all balanced. And that was not easy, especially when you think you have a finished scene, you take it home, and you start cutting it all together, and you realize it just doesn't flow. There's not enough information, and you gotta come back and just keep doing things, filling in more dialogue, filling in more action. I mean, the death scenes I thought would have been the hardest thing, and I was wrong. They were the easiest in the end. It ended up being, you know, making the scenes flow right, making the conversations seem relevant, or that they had some pace to them. Time of day had the relevance. And I mean, hopefully, if I ever do a film again, anytime soon, these guys won't do it for me, I'm sure. But hopefully, I have more experience and do something a little more organized and do something maybe stronger. I mean, I'm really confident now with the things I've done. The best things you saw in the film, I can guarantee you were done last month. And the approach like Matt's death scene on was where, you know, it's in the middle of the movie, like our first 30, we shot that maybe a month and a half ago, I think, something like that. And a lot of the stuff at the end even, there are some missing frames in there right now, I can't lie. I had to really chop it together last night to sort of make it work, especially that final scene in the little shed. But I don't know, just, I think if I got a chance to do the whole thing over now, I'm sure it'd be 10 times better. Just as far as all of us grew as actors even, I think a lot of you can kind of tell what scenes they were kind of just starting to get the idea of it, and you can see where they just really got comfortable with the characters and knew a little more what was going on. It all became much more natural for them.